Okay, yogis, settle down onto your mats. Sit wherever is comfortable. Today is yin, so as you know, that's a lot of chilling and just getting in tune with your body. But I'm going to bolt on one new thing, which is your feelings. So you remember a few practices ago, I spoke of happiness, and then the next practice I spoke of meaning and how if you find meaning in what you do, or if you find your life meaningful, you find happiness. And then from meaning, I moved on to beliefs and how what you believe influences the meanings you derive from life. So, your beliefs inform your meaning. So, if you believe in heaven and hell, you derive a certain meaning for life, which gives you a certain amount of happiness. And if you don't believe in heaven and hell, it impacts the kind of meaning you derive of life, and it gives you a different kind of happiness. But the beliefs, meanings, what is the seat of these beliefs and meanings? Where do you get your beliefs from? And the easy answer is it's what you pick up when you're growing, and it's the environment and all of that. But equally, where you experience those beliefs and meanings is in your physical body, and more specifically, it's the feelings. So something happens, and how you react, how your body reacts, the kind of feelings that you have for that situation, kind of influence your beliefs, your meanings, and then ultimately your level of happiness. So today's practice is yin, and it's a lovely practice to kind of get into your feelings and see how your body posture in different positions influences your feelings and therefore happiness. So it's exploratory. As usual, it's open-ended. There is no real right or wrong feeling, belief, meaning. It's your life, it's your experiences, it's your feelings, your beliefs, your meaning, your happiness. But I do want you to start getting in touch with it. Also want to say that most of the feelings are felt. We think we feel our feelings in our head, but most of our feelings are in our bodies. So you feel fear and nervousness in your stomach. You feel lighthearted in your chest. You feel happiness when your arms are up. So, you feel victory with your arms up. So you feel in your body, and that's where the practice is going to be. So with that short introduction, hopefully you've settled down, you've kind of distanced yourself from the rest of the day, you've got into your breath. Let's start with the easier moves. So spine tall, shoulders relaxed, right ear down to right shoulder, and your left palm down on the mat, so pushing the left shoulder away from the left ear or behind. So simple, it's just a side tilt of your head. Try and increase the gap between your left shoulder and your left ear. Then try and close the gap between your right ear and your right shoulder. Slowly come back to neutral, and the other side. So left shoulder down, left ear down, left shoulder, right shoulder pulling away, and take your right arm behind you. Kind of across. Help in keeping that shoulder down and spine remains tall. Just feel the stretch on the right side. And release. Get your index and middle fingers up. Hold on to the junction between your neck and your shoulders. Keep your spine tall. Keep supporting that junction and then slowly take the chin up to wherever is comfortable. So feeling the stretch on your throat. Slowly release and then tuck your chin in towards your chest, shoulder away from your ears. So while you're tucking your chin in towards your throat, the top part of your head is trying to move up towards the ceiling. So you feel that stretch on your upper back and your nape. Slow. Interlace your fingers. Inhale. Slowly take your arms all the way up. These are our usual stretches. It's just that we'll be holding them for a little more time today since it's Ian. So just enjoy getting into the breath. Chin up. And of course, if you want to play some soft music, go ahead and do that. I always like Ludovico Einaudi for my yin practice. Slowly release. Interlace your fingers behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Maybe keep your elbows bent, doesn't matter. Get your knuckles on the mat behind you. And then slowly take your heart up to the ceiling, maybe chin up. Feel the stretch all the way from your abs up to your throat. Feel the compression all along your back. Interlace your fingers in front of you, round your back. Once again, push chin in towards your chest. Keep rounding your back. See if you can make your breathing not only slower, but also gentler. So no need for ujjayi breath, just a soft, flowing breath. Slowly release. Once again, come up tall, left palm outside right knee, right palm behind. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, take a nice long twist. Slowly release. Right palm outside left knee, left palm behind. Inhale, spine tall. Release. Right palm next to you. Inhale, left arm up. And across. Keep pushing the left hip into the mat. So you don't want to kind of just lean across. You want to laterally bend. Down the side. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, lateral bend. Keep pushing that right hip into it. We start with the cobbler pose today. So if you need, you can take a block, especially if you have issues with your knees popping up. So you can sit on the edge of the block, or you can keep a cushion under you, whatever works, and then slowly, gently get your knees down. Now you can keep your heels as close to you or as far away from you as possible. You want to go easy on yourself, keep your heels a little further away so that your knees kind of reach down. Think you can manage without the block, go ahead, sit right down. Make sure you pull out any flesh from underneath you. If you need to, just kind of butterfly your knees down. And then get your palms on your feet. And then slowly just walk your fingers forward. You can round your back, you can keep your back straight. No worries. And just fold forward. Now to start with, this is all that my flexibility allows. But without pushing yourself, without engaging your core, allow yourself to relax so much that you kind of keep letting gravity pull you down. So as you know, this is yin, and so I'll be timing you. So whenever you're ready, just quietly move into your pose. You will feel resistance at some point. When you feel resistance, just stop. Don't fight. Breathe. Sometimes it's good to just give in and give up rather than fight on. Once your body accepts the resistance, maybe you might find yourself a little more able to fold forward. Yeah, no expectations. And while you're folding forward, check in with how you're feeling. You feel more peaceful, you feel more protective. Do you feel happier? Do you feel sadder? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel painful? Do you feel pain? Just make a note of it. It's perfectly fine if you don't feel anything. Make a note of that too. See if you're already moving into stillness. No unnecessary movements. The only movement is gravity pulling you down. shoulders relaxed. There's no fight. Gravity has to win. Slowly make your way back up. Take your time. Breathe. And then bring your knees in together. And extend your knees. And then just lie down in Shavasana. So you know this by now. After each pose, you end up in the Shavasana or some sort of relaxing pose. So you really stretched out your lower back, your middle back, maybe a little bit of your upper back. You're going to feel sensations all through your back. Get in touch with not just the physical sensations, but also the feeling component, the emotional component. Some people tell me they feel vulnerable. Some people tell me they feel like they're breaking into 1,000 pieces. It's like you don't think you can hold yourself together. Whatever it is, just experience it without judgment. At some point, that sensation, maybe pain, maybe dull ache, will begin to disappear. Just be alive to that movement, of that pain, that sensation, peaking and then ebbing away. When you're ready, bring both knees in towards your chest, give yourself a nice little squeeze. Gently rock from side to side. Roll over to your right, turn your face down. Make your eyes open, go on to seated. And the next one is the pancake, where you basically keep your feet as wide apart as you can. So I'm kind of moving back so my heels remain on the mat, because otherwise if your heels are on the floor, it kind of gets painful. So as you can see, this is all that my flexibility allows me. There, I know some yogis who can go full side splits. If that's you, go ahead, do that. And now if you see, this is where I get stuck. I can't even move forward beyond this. So if you're like me, please go ahead and take a block and put that beneath you and maybe sit not in the center of the block, but at the edge. And then move your feet as far away from each other as possible. Take maybe another block. Rest your palms or your forearms on the block. And once again, give into gravity. And this time, it's like the more you lean forward, you can let your palms go down. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Round your back if you need to. So whatever it takes, enjoy your forward fold. If there is a lot of sensation on the back of your knees, maybe bend your knees a little. So you don't have to torture yourself. At the same time, don't make it too easy. Once again, it's a forward fold. See if you can get in touch with your feelings. Don't engage any muscles that don't need to be engaged. Needs to be straight or slightly soft. It's choice. And if you're like me, I feel this huge tightness right where the thigh meets the torso. So just breathe. And as you exhale, relax, let gravity pull you down a little more. Stay with your breath. And as you breathe, be aware of where you're feeling this pulse. Is it your inner thighs? Is it your side glutes? And with that physical sensation, what are the emotions that come up? Staying with your breath, trying to stay with the present, not anticipating how long this pose is going to last. Staying with those sensations. And I know some of them are uncomfortable, but that's life. So while some stretches feel really great, there are some stretches that are like, oh my God. Slowly, 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 wherever you are, come back, up, take your time, and then gently bend the knees. Get your feet in and go back to Shavasana. Take your time, no rush. Once again, you find your sensations, this time your inner thighs. So with the yin philosophy, what you've done is basically activated your inner meridians. With the first one, you were activating your outer meridians, the ones outside your thigh. Now you've activated the ones inside your thigh. So just relax, enjoy your shavasana. Once again, tune into the feelings. So you've just done a forward fold and you've unfolded it. How do you react? When you're ready, pull your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a squeeze, and this time cross your shins. And with each palm, hold the opposite big toe, and then gently rock yourself back and forth to seated. For the next one, we are going to need either a block or a cushion, or if you have neither, it's fine, don't worry. Just take your mat, roll it up. So back to the usual roll, that is your mat. And place it below your shoulder blades. So we're getting into a gentle heart opener. So just leave the mat just below your shoulder blades. So somewhere here. And then just lie down. So you're literally pouring over the mat and making sure your head reaches down. And then just leave your palms out. So you could either use your mat, or if you wish, you can use a block the same way under your shoulder blades. So wherever you are, just make sure it's your heart that is the highest point. So enjoy this pose, just relax. And glide a little up and down just to make sure you're decently comfortable, nothing's poking you. And then try and ease out your breath. So this is the opposite. This is like exposing your heart, being extremely brave and at the same time extremely vulnerable. Check in with your breath. Is it easier to breathe now or more difficult? Because you're compressing the back of your lungs, you're going to be forced to breathe into the forward, the front part of your lungs, which is something you don't always do. It's not as easy to do this. Because your ribs are pressing down on the lungs. The lungs are getting squeezed. Try and keep your breath nice and soft. With each rising and falling breath, check in with the sensations, check in with the feeling. See if you're tensing up your shoulders. See if you can allow everything to relax. You're shifting the tension into your glutes or your thighs. Relax everything. You literally don't have to use any muscles. You're just draping over your block or your mat. See if this pose is difficult physically or emotionally. If Because if you're generally scared, fearful, you find this pose very hard. Literally exposing yourself. Stomach has to kind of really unclench to enjoy this pose. When you're ready, very gently bend your knees in. And then lightly turn over to one side. And slowly help yourself off. Get rid of the mat from underneath of you. And just lie down in Shavasana. So once again, there'll be crazy sensations in your middle back. Maybe some on your rib cage. Just get in touch with those sensations. This part where you just kind of decompress in Shavasana between every pose. It's called rebound in Yin. And this is as important as, if not more important than, the actual pose. This is what allows the body to reset. So you kind of really put some muscles under stress, under stretch, some under compression. Your joints kind of need to really open up. So in the last one, you were compressing your vertebra from the back, but from the inner side, you were opening out the vertebra. So kind of really resetting everything by coming back to neutral. When you're ready, get your heels together, get your big toes together, point your toes forward, take your heels up 10 inches. So you're engaging your core, and then as you drop your heels down, get your shoulders up. So you come up slowly to seated. If you need to take assistance with your palms, go ahead and do that. And then if you're like me, you use your mat. Open up your mat once again. And get into a down dog. So don't worry, we're not doing vinyasa, we're just transitioning. So enjoy your down dog for a bit. Free, spread your fingers, index fingers parallel, palms are shoulder width apart, elbows straight, external rotation of the arms and the shoulders, shoulders moving back, spine growing tall, tailbone moving up and back, knees are straight, backs of the thighs moving towards the wall behind, heels reaching down. When you're ready, look forward, get your right knee to your right wrist, all the way down. And then swing your right heel so it comes in line with your left wrist. And then drop down on your left knee. So we are obviously getting into pigeon pose. Now, it just depends on your body's unique flexibility, unique ability to get into this pose. So if you can, keep your right calf parallel to the top edge of the mat. And if you can't, and the heel moves in towards the groin, go ahead and do that. So it doesn't matter. If you can, keep your right calf parallel to the top edge and then move your right knee out to the right. And if you can't do that, that's also fine. Wherever you are, walk your left knee as far back as possible, keeping your hips level. And if you find this really challenging, take a block and push it under your right hip. And then get down to your elbows and then slowly slowly walk your elbows forward to wherever you feel you can hold at the edge. So by edge, I mean this is like really easy for me. I'm not feeling anything. Maybe the edge is here for some of you. Maybe it's hard all the way down. So find your edge. Basically, you should feel a stretch on your right glute. Maybe a little bit on your right IT band, which is on the outer side of the thigh. So once again, we're moving to the outer side of the thigh. When you're ready, gently get into your pose and enjoy your position. You need to turn your face to one side, and whatever it takes. Get nice and comfortable as long as you feel the stretch on the right glute. All you're looking for. Glutes end up holding a lot of tension because they're your fight or flight muscles. You're either getting ready to kick or run away. And for that very reason, there might be a lot of emotion or feeling locked into those muscles. And I don't mean literally, but I mean figuratively. And this is one pose that allows you to kind of explore that whole emotion, feeling range associated with the glutes. So, to what degree do you believe you are under attack? To what degree do you believe life is a danger? To what degree do you think everything is cool and relaxed? Will probably determine how much you feel this pose and what emotions it tends to bring up. The reason we don't know is because it's actually two reasons. One is it's a mental discipline, not just being in this. And then you wonder if there's one of you or two of you in there. One wanting to move, one saying, no, you got this, you don't need to. And second is just to experience stillness from your physical body into your thoughts, feelings, emotions, beliefs, meanings. Where you very still, your palms underneath you and move up, move your torso up, and then just release that quite like that. Lie down on your stomach, palm on top of palm, crocodile pose. forehead on your palms, relax. So at this point, you might feel like you've got a different right side and left side. You might feel you're not one person, you're two people. And we deal with this sometimes, conflicted feelings, conflicted emotions. You can't decide whether you were this sensationally right leg or this completely relaxed left leg. Maybe you're both. Maybe you're neither. Stay in touch with the sensations, peaking and ebbing. When ready, get your palms under your shoulders, tuck your toes in, come up through your knees, hips up and back, down dog. See if perspectives are changing with the changing blood flow to your head. Heels down towards the mat, stable up and back. Armpits shining inwards. When ready, get your left knee all the way to your left wrist. Swing your left heel across. And then get your right knee down. Keep your hips level at all times. Move that left knee out to the left if it helps, or allow the left heel to move in towards the groin if that's where you want to be. Nice long deep breath in, and as you exhale, release down to your elbows, pigeon on the other side. And once again, walk your elbows as far forward as you think helps. This time you actually feel a little compression on your inner left calf as your left outer glute and that left IT band will be stretched. For those of you who want to watch how to place the block under your left hip, here goes. It may not be the hip, it may actually be the thigh. So you kind of feel that support there. Once again, use your breath to ease in. If you're on your elbows, as you breathe and as you let go, so you can walk your elbows forward. A little bit of torsion going on at your knees, so it kind of helps with knee flexibility as well. There's a little bit of stretch on the other side of your calf. Enjoy all those stretches and compressions.
people who are just beginning with yin, the most difficult part is the stillness. We are compulsive movers, so the thoughts are compulsive monkeys. Impossible to stay still. And yet, you will find you can move mountains if you just learn to stay still. It's when you can control your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own feelings. And by control, not like in a very subversive, slave kind of way, but with discernment, with mindful consciousness, makes all the difference. Very slow. Push up. Release the foot from underneath you. Once again, into crocodile. Palm on top of palm. Relax your forehead on your palm. And enjoy the sensations this time on your left leg. Sometimes just the crocodile can evoke strong emotions if you're not used to sleeping on your belly. You might feel claustrophobic. You might feel like you can't breathe. You might feel anxious. And for others, it's sometimes just the opposite. They feel completely comfortable. Each one is unique, each one has had different experiences. All that yin does is it gives you that space to explore that inner world that has been shaped beyond your conscious control, but with which you need to deal with nevertheless. And unless you deal with that inner space, you're not going to be able to deal with the world effectively. And I'm saying this, it sounds like there's a difference between the inner world and the outer world. For all you know, there might not be any difference between your inner world and the outer world. That rather complicated thought, put your palms on your shoulders, gently go up through your knees, hips up and back to down dog. And then just come up onto your tippy toes, walk your toes forward towards your palms. Stay with a rounded back. Gently come up to standing. I know there is one yin posture that you can do when you're standing. So this is called the dangling. So dangling is very easy. Keep your feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing straight forward. And if you're not naturally a straight pointing person and your toes need to point out or they need to point in because that's where you are naturally, go ahead and do that. No worries. Now this pose is really very simple. Just hinge from your hips. You can round your back, you can keep your back straight, all you want, and just dangle from your hips. So your knees are straight. You're getting a huge stretch all the way from your heel, all the way around your back. So your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back, your middle back, your upper back. Everything is stretching and you're just reaching down. Now you can allow your fingers to kind of just lightly touch the mat. or you can cross your arms at the elbows. Just make sure your knees are straight. Now, if it feels like a lot of pressure behind your knees, maybe gentle softening in your knees, but you should still feel the hamstring stretch. So whenever you're ready, get into the pose, and we'll start now. Try and keep your hips above your heels, but if you can't, it's no big deal. With each breath in, feel the stretch. With each exhale, see if you can lower your head towards your toes a little more. Shoulders are completely relaxed. Check in with what muscles you are engaging and then releasing because you realize you don't need to hold on to them. Like, me, it's my abs. I suddenly tighten my abs, and then I realize I don't need to do this, even though it's a forward fold. Just let it go, breathe. Some of us it could be the quads because it's natural to contract the quads when your hammies are stretching like this. You don't need to. Just let them be. Where's your breath? Where's the consciousness? What I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, where I'm feeling. But once you have the time and the space, explore. And the longer you hold the pose, the more difficult it seems, and then you start dealing with where is he getting us out of this? I don't need to get you out. You can always just bend your knees and slowly come up if it's too much. Or you can say, let me see how this goes just a little more. You can either resist by contracting your muscles and saying, oh, this is too hard. Or you can take a nice deep breath in, let it out slowly and relax and say, you know what, let me just enjoy this. You can't possibly do this forever. Because nothing lasts forever. Slowly bend your knees. Rest your palms or your arms on your thighs or your knees. And then slowly, while you're still folded, take your chin up. So be really slow and gentle. Please don't get out of this pose quickly. Then get your palms onto your knees and then round your back. And slowly come to standing. Take your time. Take as much time as you want. And then we move to the wuji. So for the wuji, of course, you need to get rid of your mats and stand with your feet directly in touch with the earth. Keep your feet about hip distance apart, again, preferably toes are pointing forward. Then first keep your knees straight and keep your hips over your heels. Push the soft pads of your feet into the floor and then just relax your knees. So you're not bending them forward, nor are they completely straight, they're just soft. Point your tailbone forward, and you realize that if you need to point your tailbone forward, you need to kind of contract those ab muscles just below your navel. So you contract those ab muscles, your tailbone will point forward. So your spine would be probably, if you notice, it's a C curve. Now move from a C to a J. So keep the tailbone tucking forward, but the rest of your spine comes up tall. Your chin is parallel to the floor, and your palms, turn them to face the back. So the minute you turn your palms to face the back, your elbows kind of move away from your body. So when you turn your palms back, your elbows will move away from your body. So the mounds of your feet pushing into the floor, your knees relaxed, they're not bent. Your tailbone is tucking forward, so you're drawing your lower abs in, your spine is tall, shoulders relaxed, arms by your side nice and loose, and palms facing back. That's your wuji. Hold your wuji for a bit. So just feel the balance between your feet. If you want, gently close your eyes. If you want, keep your eyes open. Your choice. So this is a standing meditation. Who says you need to keep sitting for a meditation? If you find sitting boring, this is so much more exciting. And while you might wonder what you need to do, for starters, just keep scanning your posture. Are you pushing into the mounds of your feet? Are your knees relaxed? Is your tailbone tucking forward? Are you just gently engaging your lower abs? Is your spine jiggle? Are your shoulders relaxed? Are your fingers relaxed? Are your palms facing back? Is your chin parallel to the floor? When you go back to your feet, or then get into your balance, or then just get into your breath, or then just let everything go and just feel that sensation of standing on your feet, doing nothing. Very gently blink your eyes open. Imagine a beach ball
Hold that beach ball in front of your heart, so elbows out, and your fingers are like 1 centimeter away from each other. You can gaze out between your fingers all the way to the horizon, or you can keep your eyes closed. So your palms are at your heart dantian, your middle dantian. Your fingers never touching, but they're just floating 1 centimeter away from each other. The rest of you are still in Muji. Shoulders relaxed, chin parallel to the floor. Still pushing into the ground with your feet. Your knees gently relaxed but not bent. Tailbone still pointing forward. I'm still engaging with the lower abs. Is your spine a nice tall Jacob? Let shoulders relaxed. Is your chin still parallel to the floor? When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Float your palms down, back to G. Straighten out your knees. Get your feet together. Bunch up your palms into fists. Push down the energy into the floor. Push your feet into the floor, grow taller. And that's the end of your yin practice today. Thank you, yogis. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on Tuesday for something that's a little more active.